Hello, YouTubers. You know who this is. RKO2582. As I promised, I'm going to do another edition of the Lookback Talk. And as you already know, TLC, the pay-per-view, is coming up this Sunday. And I wanted to take some time out of my day to look back at my personal favorite TLC matches from back when I was 9 or 10 years old up to currently right now. So let's not waste any time and do the intro. When you're standing next to me, yeah, I know you feel the power. It's a feeling that you get when you face the final hour. Everything you ever had, yeah, it's tasting kind of sour. It's all about me, it's all about the power. I said it's all about me, it's all about the power. Alright, let's run down my favorite TLC matches. And it would not be right if I kicked off the match that pretty much started or pioneered the TLC match itself, with, of course, Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, and the Dudleys in a triple threat TLC match. I know, at SummerSlam 2000. And boy, when I watched this match, it was, oh my god, it was pretty epic. You had, Edge and Christian who used the chairs, and the other boys are known for get the tables! And of course, the Hardy Boys with the ladders. And what happens when you mix them all together? Of course, TLC. And this was a really good match, and I enjoyed it very, very much. I mean, the Hardys, of course, doing what they usually do there. Crazy stuff, especially Jeff. And yeah, back when the Hardys were in their prime, unlike, seeing them be the horrible state they are nowadays. But that's for another time. Anyway, but like I said, yeah, they were really good. And surprisingly, I know who won the match was Edge and Christian. Oh, sorry, believe it or not. Yep, so alright, and after the huge success from the first ever TLC match, they decided to do it, but this time, second time, at the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. At WrestleMania 17, it was TLC number 2 with the same 3 teams I previously mentioned. And this was actually, trying to step up from the last match, and it was insane. It was just crazy. I mean, I remember, Rhino getting involved, and I know trying to screw up with the Hardy stuff, and then I like when Jeff Hardy did that swanton on to the Rhino, and I think one of the Dudleys, I'm not sure, but it was crazy. It was a crazy spot, and of course, how can I not forget Edge's epic spear to Jeff Hardy down the. Oh, that was God. And JR was like, my God, Edge-Man broke Jeff Hardy in half. It was insane. Oh, man. I like rewatching that match when I get the chance. It was just amazing. And then, believe it or not, once again, Andrew Christian wins again. And I forgot to mention in the previous, they were for the tag team titles, too. So, Edge and Christian, once again, tag team champions. So, I'm like, man. I mean, it makes you, looking back now, it's like, makes you wish the Hardys or the Dudleys would have won one of them, because Edge and Christian were dominant. Yeah, and then they decided to do a third one. And I remember this one, too. You had, the Dudleys, once again, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian, and a fourth team, the champs going in were, of course, Chris Jericho and the man who should not be mentioned, Chris Benoit. And they were the tag team champs going in, like I said, and after them beating, Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin, I was shocked because, as you know, what happened with Triple H's quad injury at the time. And this was insane too. It was on SmackDown too, and it was the first time the TLC was ever on broadcast television. That was huge. And it was around, May of 2001. Yeah, and it was insane. So I was very surprised. It was insane. Just like any TLC match, there was a lot of craziness, and then Ed speared, one of the Hardys, and I think Bubba did the Bubba cut on somebody. It was just insane. And then, but in the end, Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho proved that they really deserved the tag team championships. And what a first title defense after them just winning the tag team title. So, once again, that match, oh my god, that was insane. Fatal 4 tag team match. Alright, now let's go on to Unforgiven 2006. Yep, you know which TLC match I'm talking about. John Cena against the Rated R Superstar for the WWE Championship, and Edge was the champ going in at the time, and it was around the time I was still a huge Cena fan, and I hated Edge at the time. Yeah, know me. And then yeah, of course it was in Edge's hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I mean, Edge had everything in his favor. He got to choose stipulation, which was TLC. It was in his hometown, and at the time, Edge said that's a match he never lost, and he felt comfortable at home with. And you were thinking in the match going in, thinking like there was no way in hell that Edge is gonna lose because he has everything in his favor. And then, of course, yeah, John Cena, of course, what he's been getting as for previous years, heavily booed. They booed his ass out of Air Canada Center and stuff. I mean, and then there was a good match too. I mean, you had I enjoyed the spot. I like when John Cena did a hip toss onto the ladder, and I like when Edge, drop kicked Cena with the ladder. I mean, and then of course when Lita pushes John Cena all through the table, that was insane. I mean, I was very happy with this match, and I recently rewatched this about a week or two ago, and it was just insane. And then, of course, what won the match for Cena was that FU up two tables, and he won the title back for the third time, and I was very happy. And once again, Cena overcoming the odds like he always does. So that was Unforgiven 2006, Edge and John Cena, TLC. All right, my next favorite was Undertaker versus Edge in a TLC match at One Night Stand 2008, and the stipulation was if Undertaker didn't beat Edge for the title, that means Undertaker would be banished from the WWE. And I was really pushing for Undertaker for the win, but it's like Edge said, I mean, like they were feuding for pretty much about a year at that point. I know, just for that World Heavyweight title, and then Edge saying like, you saying I feel comfortable in that even though he lost at Cena and stuff, and yeah, and then yeah, Taker that was Taker's very first TLC match, and it played a huge factor in this match too because yeah, it was a good match too. I enjoyed it, but of course Edges at the time La Familia got involved trying to scoop Taker out the belt, and then he pushes both like the Edge head, higher than at the time we didn't know Zack Ryder. And then it was a crazy match. And then of course the final spot of the match is when Undertaker was about to title and Edge pushes I know Undertaker onto so many tables. It was insane. And then of course Edge wins the title when it was vacant. Yeah, it was vacant. And then Undertaker was unfortunately banished, but yeah, little did we know afterwards he came back. So yeah, and I hated Edge when he won that, but overall it was a good match nonetheless. All right, let's go on to SummerSlam 2009. I recently watched this last week. Was Jeff Hardy against CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, and of course TLC. And this feud between Hardy and Punk was really good for 2009. In my opinion, one of the top feuds of that year. I mean, it makes you wish if Jeff had stayed, and I think they would have went even further. But it was still a good, rivalry and stuff, because of course, CM Punk with him being straight edge still, but he was going about the wrong way, like pretty much shoving it down everyone's throats, and Jeff Hardy pretty much saying like, I make mistakes and all that junk, and I'm not perfect, but he's like, I'm not like a hypocrite like CM Punk, and it was and I like the promo going into it, and then Punk's like, he's like, now I realize what I have to do to make people see the light. And it's like CM Punk was being what he is, a messiah. So, and I enjoyed it. So, yeah, and like I said, the match was insane. Like, you had chair spots, oh my god, tables, and that highlight spot at home match with Jeff Hardy, that super big ass ladder, and he did a swanton bomb onto CM Punk on that announce table. I was like, damn, Jeff Hardy doing what he does best. It was insane. But in the end, after CM Punk knocked Jeff Hardy off the ladder, CM Punk, once again, your World Heavyweight Champion for the third time. And then after the celebration, Undertaker comes in and chokeslam him. I have to say that was a good ending to SummerSlam. That really was a good ending to SummerSlam. All right. Here's my final favorite TLC match that I enjoyed was at last year's TLC pay-per-view, which was Edge versus Del Rio versus Mysterio versus Kane for the World Heavyweight Championship. And funny enough, this was originally supposed to be just Edge and Kane for the TLC match for the World Heavyweight title, but for some strange reason, they decided to nix off the Del Rio Mysterio chair match instead, putting them in the mix. Yeah, because I think it was maybe because Mysterio was injured or something. They think he would be good enough for the chairman, so they just like, you know what, just screw that and just add them in. And then yeah, but in some cases it was kind of like, a blessing in disguise. If what my take on it, it made the match even better by adding Mysterio and Del Rio in. Looking back at it, it was just insane. You had all these good spots, and of course, when Edge pushed Del Rio off the ladder onto that table, that was an epic spot. I was like, damn, what a spot. And then yeah, it was a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, but in the end, Edge finally, after months and months of him chasing the title, he finally got it back, and he was like, I think how many? I think, oh yeah, he was a 10-time world champion. So it was great and it was amazing. So it was awesome, and I was very happy for Ed. And sadly, unfortunately, he's retired now, and I'm thankful he got to be part of the pay per view that pretty much he pioneered and stuff. So anyways, that was all my favorite personal TLC matches. And I know this year's TLC match at the pay per view with CM Punk, The Miz, and Alberto Del Rio. And this is funny that it's Miz and Del Rio's second TLC matches in their careers, and same with Punk's too. So they all got experience. I mean, they're all dead even. So I know that match is not going to disappoint, and it's for sure, going to be the main event of that pay per view. Damn right. All right. Anyways, this is me, RKO 2582, signing off.